Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about the bourbon year in review for 2022. My name is McNew. Oh my God, that rhymes so much. It's terrible. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Brian Thompson, Tracy Napolitano, and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
I was almost going to give McNew a beatbox there, so it was coming in so good.
There was so many rhyming. Oh, God, that was horrible. Anyways.
Yeah. It just worked out that way. All right. Well, we've got a fun show. There's been a lot that's happened in the world of bourbon this year, I feel, so we're going to talk about some of the highlights. It's not like we wrote down a timeline or anything, so it'll be off the top of our heads. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Ryan said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Ryan?
Yeah, it's something that's very pertinent to Americana these days, and it's a TV show that's kind of hot. Okay. And one of the main stars of the TV show, we had a opportunity to hang out with him this past summer, and we were sharing some whiskey, and we just posted it on our social because the season 5 just came out, and boy, this social post got some traction, and so maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe not, but Yellowstone is a hot topic these days, and. Yeah. And so we had a chance to hang out with Mr. Cole Hauser and enjoy our whiskey. And Cole has done some work with 10th Mountain Army Division over in Afghanistan the last couple of years. And so he's just a really nice dude. And so just Yellowstone season 5 is out. And I think we're 4 or 5 episodes in. And just want to get everyone's opinion. Are you guys a fan of the show? Are you watching it? Have you heard of it? Where you at?
So when's your whiskey going to be on there? So they have a lot of different whiskeys on there. When's this Cole Hauser guy going to bring your whiskey on there?
Well, no doubt, right? I think that's it's probably out of our budget now at this point.
Yeah. He can't throw you a bone. He's a fan of what you do. He can't just be like,
I know, man. I thought about it, but I think Buffalo Trace has that kind of wrapped up these days. So
yeah, them and MGP.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, well, what about Diageo? There was always Bullet, I thought, on that show. So yeah.
Yeah, Bullet made an appearance, and I think Buffalo Trace made an appearance.
Yeah, Bullet has traditionally been the one that's been on there. Now, Yellowstone or MGP.
Butler just made a recent appearance.
Yeah. Well, they're new to the thing. It was always a Bullet show. And then I do think Yellowstone might have been on there one time, but they've done commercial on there.
They buy ads on.
They buy ads, correct.
I don't think they've been in the show, but they certainly, and God, they absolutely should, right? Hell.
Right. They belong there, right? So, yeah. So they did ads, but yeah. Weller was on there and regular Buffalo Trace too. Yep. So yeah, so it's
that's right. Yeah, Weller was on it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I've never seen the show. I don't.
How do you know what's been on it then?
Well, it's all over everything. I mean, I live in the bourbon world, so from the bourbon standpoint, I mean, how many people did you see posting about it and losing their mind? And
right.
Yeah, so. I know a little bit about it. I don't know who Cole Hauser is. Is that the character's name or a real person?
That's Rip.
No, he's an actor. He goes, his character on the show is a guy named Rip. He's the badass on the show, and all the ladies like him, and he's a well-known actor. Apparently, he's done a lot of stuff out there before Yellowstone. Even he's been out and about. So
Kevin Costner. I'm just not a Kevin Costner fan. He'd be a hard one for me to watch the show because he's always Kevin Costner.
I have tried.
Welcome
so
to the
hard.
Yellowstone Ranch. I'm Kevin. I'm a Rip Van Taylor.
I understand what you're saying, but that's a terrible impersonation of him.
Yeah.
No,
Stick to your day job, buddy. Stick
It's
to
a
your day job.
calculated coup d'etat.
This isn't Waterworld. Like,
Yeah.
And I liked Waterworld.
That was actually
I did
JFK.
too.
You're the only one.
Calculated
And
coup d'etat.
apparently, right, Trace?
Yeah.
Oh, apparently you and my wife. She liked it as well.
She liked
I
Waterworld.
like Waterworld.
That's like
Are
one
you
of the
guys
biggest
fans of the
flops
show?
in history.
Are
Yeah,
you guys fans of Yellowstone?
I have
love
not seen it.
Yellowstone.
So
We keep
I
saying we're
like.
gonna binge it, but we haven't gotten to it yet.
Let me say, I like the Yellowstone universe. I freaking loved 1883. We
Yeah, I
watched
love
it religiously. I was obsessed with it. I was very invested in 1883. I'm very invested in 1923, whatever is coming next.
Right.
You know, the one with Helen Mirren and who else?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like
Is
that.
there spin-offs, I assume?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're spinoffs. Yep.
I was very into the spinoffs. I can't get into Yellowstone. I hated season 1. Couldn't get into it. I don't get the appeal for Beth. I think she just fucking sucks. I don't like her.
Oh, you're
And
dead to me, McNew.
I don't.
Beth
but
is great.
I'm here for Rip though. Like, oh, that man. I am here for him. But it is. I've not gotten into Yellowstone like everybody else, but I do get the appeal. I get the pop culture, and I follow the pop culture part of it. But I'm not a big Yellowstone fan.
Man.
Okay.
Lenny, where do you fall?
I love it. I was a little late to the game. Like I missed maybe half the first season, and actually it was on an ABV Network episode that I got wise to it. I think Royce and someone else mentioned it. I think Adam was on there and mentioned it.
Okay.
And then I was sucked in. I haven't missed an episode since. The day comes out, the day I'm watching it. And anyone who's like, whoa, the third season, meh, shut up. It's all awesome. It's all great.
It's all awesome.
It doesn't have
apparently.
I
It's all
just-
awesome.
best
I
TV in the world.
never liked the first season, so somebody told me start at the third, and I still was like,
You know, there's no dragons. Fair enough.
No.
I like
It's still
the
good.
universe though. So like 1883, I'm gonna watch the new like prequel, sequel, whatever the fuck it is. I'm gonna watch that too. But I don't like the current Yellowstone people.
No.
I'm a fan. I became a fan over quarantine and binged it all, and then been a fan ever since. And I like what they have going on. Lenny and I can relate to the environment. We're in the Rocky Mountains, and it's filmed in the Rockies, obviously, up
Yeah.
in the Montana area. So yeah, I like what they have going. Some episodes are a little cheesy, but I think most they're great.
So did you like 1883 with like Sam Elliott? I'm like, if
Yeah,
Sam Elliott's in
right?
something, I am 100% watching it.
I watched 2 episodes of 1883, and then I haven't watched it since. So
Uh-oh. There's a
No.
problem.
I don't think
There's
you
a
have
problem.
to finish it. You have to finish it.
okay, fair enough. I'll
You
take
can
you up
actually
on that,
just
McNew.
binge it now. If you have some free time, just binge it. It's better if you can do it that way.
So is that show over now? Was it just
Yeah.
a prequel
Yeah.
that started?
Yeah,
in it?
1883 was done. It was like 12.
One season? 12
Yeah.
episodes? Okay. Yeah.
And then they're coming out with 1923, which is
Okay.
a part of that too.
Okay.
But yeah, you can binge 1883 now.
Oh, it's exciting. Exciting. All right. Well, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Start with Tracy. Tracy, what do you got there?
So this is a sample from a barrel pick of a local store here, Martin's Wine Cellar. If I can actually open it, it's the Maker's Mark private barrel program.
Okay.
But I can't open it. There it goes.
You got fries on your hands?
Oh, well.
I actually had a roast beef sandwich with gravy.
Oh.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
I've got from RC6 out there in California. I've got their rye whiskey. All right. Let's see what we got here. Man, a lot of squeak. Not much with the pop. It's got the lead right now, but it should be beat. It'd be embarrassing if that wins, but we'll see what happens. Lenny, you're next.
Well, in honor of Yellowstone in the region, I've got some product of Montana, Montgomery American Single Malt.
Okay.
Nice.
Misfire.
Okay. That's enough to take the lead.
Damn right.
Points off for the misfire, but still got the lead. All right.
So Steve, how are you grading these things? This is clearly just audio volume or what?
Yeah, well, yeah. How would you rate a sound? It's got to be by audio volume, right? I mean, how else? There's no style points or
Well,
looks
there's
or-
a mispull.
Oh, Yeah. Well, I deducted for that, but it's still, I mean, mine was terrible. Tracy didn't have a cork pop, so he's not even in the mix. And I went and it was too squeaky and low. So yeah, Lenny's clearly got the lead. So what do you got there, Ryan? Can you beat it?
I'm just a little peeved from the last one. That's all I am.
Okay. You lost, yeah.
I did we were at a veteran event down in Denver last Friday night. Houses for Warriors. A shout out to them, and they were connected with Warriors and Whiskey as well. And we did a bottle trade with our neighbors at the event, and it's from Ironton down there. I believe they're in Denver. Lenny, can you confirm that? I don't know.
Yeah, they're in Denver. I think they're like kind of Rhino area.
That's right. Yep, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it was just a couple blocks north of downtown. So let's see what we got here. Nothing.
Nothing. All right, I've got the lead, McNew, and what may be the worst cork pop win ever. We'll see what happens. Can you beat that?
I don't think I'm going to do much. Steve, I just got this a couple weeks ago at your place, right? The Planters pick from Nobleton's. Yeah. Look at this.
It sat in my store for like 2 months waiting for her to pick it up, and then now it's made it like 4 days. So,
we love it. No, it's not going to do much though.
No, not enough. I win.
Didn't I win?
No.
Embarrassing, Steve, but I'm with you.
No. Cheers. I might have just stolen from Lenny. Lenny, technically I did say you beat me, but you know what? Here's the problem. I put it into the official record as a win for me, so it's going to have to stay that way. I mean, I get what you're saying.
That's fine. I'll just raise my bourbon celebrity status by 20 points.
It still stings. That's going to be part of the bourbon year in review. It's going to be Lenny's bourbon celebrity score. So yeah, of course. So there you go. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the bourbon year in review. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Jim Fosnot. I'm your bourbon buddy, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the Bourbon Year in Review for 2022.
Yes, we are. So the year's winding down, and what do we think? What are some of the highlights from this year?
I'd say one of the things I love the industry because there's always something going on, right?
Oh, yeah.
To your point, man, there's always something to write about, something to talk about. There's how many distilleries in the country these days? Close to 3,000 or so.
Sure.
Everyone's doing a lot of cool things out there, and so, but I'm just excited to be part of it and on a small level and have some fun with it. So,
okay. That's your year in review right there. I think that one of the biggest stories is the exit from heritage brands. I mean, Jackie's Icahn leaves a company. Denny Potter leaves a company. Jane Bowie. These are big names. Yeah.
Do you led the charge? Because first it was her, then there was Denny and Jane. Do you think Jackie led the charge with that, or was it always all in the works?
Didn't that start? I mean, we've seen that the last couple of years, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, Jack Daniels had a departure. Jeff
Arnett left.
Company Bourbon. Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's been happening.
Lisa Wicker was that Widow Jane, not a heritage brand, but she left.
Yeah.
She left. Yeah. That's another one. That's another person who left. So yeah. Yeah. So I think that's one of the big stories. I think the other big story is that, to Lenny's point, now Jeff Arnett did not. He kind of fits the narrative that I would say is this year is they leave not switch brands. I mean, we saw some switching going on in years past, but it seemed like there was going from a big brand to another big brand. This time it's going from a big brand to a new startup, and that's certainly the case with with Jackie's Icahn. It's the case with Denny and Jane. They're going to be starting their own thing. It's interesting the fact that these folks are leaving. We don't know what Lisa Wicker's doing yet, but I'm guessing she's not retiring. I assume at some point we're going to hear she's doing something.
I think she's
you will hear soon.
We'll hear soon, says Tracy. So he knows.
So there's some good guesses on the tables.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, you keep hearing these things. So that's an interesting thing offshoot from this year. So that's pretty good. What else do you guys think is big news stories?
I think early on the return of events. I mean, that makes a difference for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Events coming back. You had a couple end of the year last year, but having events return.
It was a strong event year for sure. So yeah. That's a good point.
Absolutely, Tracy. I'd second that one. We've worked hard. We have a full schedule right now with events. Certainly, summertime is when more are happening, and summer and fall. But yeah, events are back and a great attendance at them as well, which is exciting.
Right.
Another thing from Lenny's and I perspective is direct to consumers picking up more and more steam.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer for distilleries when we can bring it actually in house. In Kentucky, they have reciprocal states with 8 other states, and so those distilleries can sell direct to consumer in 8 other states, and there's just more and more attention on that aspect of the overall business. And I mean, wine's been doing it for 15, 16 years, and so it's just a matter of time for spirits to be able to do it, and so that's from a legislative, political BS side. That's been on the forefront, and certainly in my mind, and I think Lenny could probably echo those words too.
Oh yeah, massively. And Ryan, I don't know if you came across this. I might be getting this a little off, but while it wasn't this year, I think during the whole pandemic stuff, in California, they allowed their distilleries to go direct to consumer.
Totally, yeah.
And the fallout might not be the right word, but the results of that are now finally being interpreted. And the results are that the things that everybody was afraid of, the underage getting liquor and all this, it didn't happen. It all worked out just fine. And it's such a major state, a major economy that we can now look to that and be like, hey guys, see, we just test marketed that. And you can have all these issues, but it actually works. Also, people are starting to push parity with wine and to some extent beer. Just let adults be adults. And I'm glad that's finally starting to gain some steam, to your point.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Good point. Yep.
Yeah. Lenny, did you have another point? You were trying to say something.
Yeah. I guess I would say I'm really enjoying hearing about the massive investments of heritage brands And
Sure.
God, I would go so far as say, like, I don't know if this is intentional, but the almost weekly one-uppery of
Right.
what big brand is going to spend more.
Yeah. Beam's investing 400 million in the Booker No plant. Well, Sazerac's investing 600 million, and
Yeah.
so you're right. There is some of that goes on for sure.
It's
Yeah.
incredible, isn't it? Those numbers
Yeah.
being thrown around,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
You know what else is incredible? Like, I'm not quite the numbers guy, but when I looked at that, I was reading this article about Sazerac's investment and what they're going to do. And I am no hater on their expansion. I'm all for it. But I thought it was interesting that when you look at the number that they're investing, it's slated to create 50 jobs.
Yeah,
50
right.
jobs. Yeah.
That's a lot
600
of
million
money
bucks.
for 50 jobs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a funny way to look at like how this industry works when you're talking about like what truly is, I mean, amazing bourbon that comes out of this plant, but that's a whiskey factory. And you throw that much money in it, you just don't need that many people to work at that size factory. Like they get the job done with some buttons. And, I don't know. It's kinda interesting.
A couple more big news stories. I think the buyouts this year. Of course, we've had some big buyouts, and and those were coming hot and heavy for a while. Balcones gets bought out, and a few spirits, and Widow Jane, and
And
Wilderness
Steve, to
Trail.
interrupt you, man, to interrupt you on that few spirits transaction, that was with 5, 6, 7 other distilleries under the same umbrella, wasn't it?
Right. Oh yeah. The whiskey brands were Widow Jane and that, but there was a lot of other distilleries in there.
I think the parent company was Samson and Surrey.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold out to
Speculatively,
Heaven
the
Hill.
main brand was a tequila that they were after.
Yeah.
Was it? Is that right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not on paper official, but it's speculated that might have been the impetus for the deal.
Yeah.
Lenny, it's on the ABV Network official podcast now, so you better be right.
You better be right, man. Yeah. I think
Right,
another big
Lee.
thing is the announcement that investment in craft too and building new distilleries. We heard that one in Shelbyville, Kentucky. That's going to be a $200 million expansion. In Georgetown, Kentucky, that Blue Run's going to be building a $51 million distillery. And there was other ones too. I mean, so that's, I think, interesting. The fact that people are still investing money in building brand new brands. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty wild.
Steve, in line with Blue Run, although I have no idea where their product comes from, would you guys, Steve, and the rest of you, would you maybe think, I wonder if this is the year that I feel like people stopped, God, I don't know how to put this. I don't want to say stop caring about bourbon from MGP or Ross and Squibb, whatever it's called, and really started turning favor to it and started saying like, I want this stuff. I don't care what brand has their older stuff. If they have it, I want it. And I thought that was a really interesting shift for.
There's
MGP.
certainly fanboys and fangirls that want all, no matter what it is. If it's MGP, they want it. Which is like to your point. That is news because you think back a few years ago, it's like that's actually sourced, and people didn't want that.
Yeah, it was dime a
and
dozen.
these days, it's highly coveted. And of course, MGP is doing less and less of that stuff. And they're unless there's a long term relationship, they're not taking on new brands and things like that. So that's interesting. So
Yeah.
another big news story from the world of bourbon. Someone opened up a single barrel shop where that's all that they sell. It's just single barrels. No one's ever done that before, and it's a hard model to replicate.
I
Whoever
think
did
they're
that.
making moves at that place, man. I heard what they're doing. The couple guys behind it, I think, know what they're talking about.
Yeah. If
And
you
I
don't
think,
if you don't think
it's
it's a
great.
big deal with what they have to deal with the fellow liquor stores and distributors in the market. They're not happy with that
How mad
situation.
people
I mean,
are. They didn't think of it first. Like
They're
anyone-
losing their minds over it. Yes.
No
Yeah.
doubt of it.
Haters.
Clearly, we're talking about the ABV Barrel Shop.
The ABV Barrel Shop. Yes. Yeah.
And they
And
could have a sister store in Indianapolis.
Yes, we're working on that. So that we're working on an indie store. So we'll see if that comes through. But there's also maybe something going on in Chicago too. So yeah, so things are
I'm
happening.
so surprised that
Yeah.
there is some industry pushback to it.
Oh
I
yeah.
obviously love it. Obviously, Steve and I go back a handful of
Stores
years.
that are-
and-
Distribution. They're the ones that are mad.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
incredible. It blows me away.
Yeah, they get
Because I
mad
love
when
it. I
they
think it's
see
great for the
when they
industry.
see bourbon celebrities come to our place. Right away they want to call the parent company of whatever those places are and say, "We bought this amount. How much are those guys buying?" and all this. Well, it comes down to personal relationships too. What they don't understand is I know these people. I'm friends with these people. And when Steve Beam comes to town and he's got the big tour bus, it's not a matter of how much we bought from him. It's the matter of fact that we're friends. You know, he's come to Key West with us on our, Distiller Summit and things like that. It's a personal relationship. And
Right.
That's what people don't understand. If they want that, you can do what I did. I'll tell you, here's the secret formula. Go sleep on a bunch of couches in Kentucky.
Damn right.
Do that for 5 years.
Working,
Do
right?
that for 5 years. Spend 2 weeks out of every month sleeping on a couch in Kentucky, couch surfing, and get to know
Amen,
everybody in the
brother.
business. And next thing you know, they'll start coming out to your place too. And they'll
Amen,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm willing to give away my trade secret. So
Yeah, there it is.
that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Well, when I was on the road too, when Lenny, when we're on the road promoting shit, I've slept in my car before. I'm not paying for
Yeah.
hotel room, so I
I
slept
mean,
in my car. And
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been there, done that. So yeah.
what about like cocktails? Any kind of new cocktails come out this past year that you guys have come across? Or
Cocktails continue to be an area of growth, and of course, canned cocktails are still a huge thing in this industry. I mean, it seems like it's a fad, but it's a fad that has some staying power, and it doesn't look like it's going away. I mean, people are into these things. It's not my thing, but you know what? Not everything has to be about me. And
industry
I have
term is the
respect.
RTD,
Yeah.
ready to drink,
Ready
right?
to drink.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we reviewed a lot of them on our radio show, and I mean, we liked very few of them. I
Right.
mean,
Tracy,
there's
was
a couple
hard.
though that are actually pretty good, Trace. I'm
There's
with
a
you.
few,
lot
but
of them, no
they're
bueno.
far, they're hard to find.
Right.
Yeah, but so here's my take on this. This is the year of RTDs being panned as not good enough. Next year, they get really good.
Probably.
That's
could be.
my prediction.
I also want to say, like, pay attention to your home bartenders.
Barbara.
Those freaking posting things on Instagram. So Netflix just did like some best bartender show. It was
Right.
Drink
Yeah.
Masters. Watched it. It was so good. So the home bartenders, please pay attention to your home bartenders. We have Adina Ewald who rocked our cocktail contest for 2 years in a row. God love Adina. But she's still making things. She still is making incredible things that anybody could
And
do.
again, she's just a home bartender. She doesn't have a
She's
bartender
a
job or
bartender.
anything like that.
So
She
this is
could.
called We Love You, Baby.
She could. She could. I don't want you say that, but everything she makes is order it and it'll be 40 minutes later because there's like 40
I know.
ingredients.
No, I know because there's a lot going on with it. But
Right.
our home bartenders, I think those are going to be the next trend, not these super complicated
Home
things.
bartenders.
She
Okay.
does amazing things with very complicated things, but you could take her recipe and do it yourself if you felt like it. So
McNew, I'll add to this a little bit. We have an account actually kind of in the middle between Lenny and I, Nova Guides. Lenny, you're probably familiar with them, right?
Yeah, totally.
And they do snowmobile tours and side by side tours, and they're at where Camp Hale, where the 10th originated, where 10th Mountain Army Division originated in the 1940s. But I was just visited them yesterday, and they have this contraption called the Bartesian.
what is
You guys
that?
heard of this? The Bartesian?
Is it like a Keurig for cocktails?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay, no, nobody, we don't want it. Nobody wants it. No.
I had an old fashioned,
Was it good?
and they have it was good. They
It was
put
good.
the spirits in these little the side deals, and then you put the mix, and it's just exactly like a Keurig, and it was good. So
Okay, so we have very much decided, like, no, we're not interested. We don't want that. But
a lot of people are gonna.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
hate
new,
the
and I
robots.
was excited to go see that.
Yeah,
They had
thanks about that.
texted me that they got that in, and I wanted to see how our whiskey was being mixed with this Keurig deal. And
Oh, so your
sure enough,
whiskey. Okay, so they started with a good whiskey. That's probably the key.
agree. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all part of it for sure. So
Anything else from this year you think of note?
that's a lot.
It's been a lot. It's been a good year, and that's a pretty good review of a lot of things that happened this year.
Can we
good stuff.
look forward to 2023? What do you guys think for 2023?
Yeah.
2023? Yeah.
Single
I-
malt looks
Like a
over.
lot of shakeups. More shakeups are coming, probably. I think it's going to be good for everybody, though.
Yeah, I think Lenny, you were just saying single malts. I think American single malts are going to explode.
This is true. I do too. Yeah. Yes. And we've been, Lenny's kind of shown us the way on those, and it's That's
we've
really
been lying
interesting.
down single malt at our place, and it's selling. We only sell it at our tasting rooms, and it's been a hot seller for the last. Well, we only released it a year ago, but we started lining it down about 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
definitely
Very
single
nice.
malt.
Very nice. Single malts are a thing for sure. Anything else you think for 2023?
I think this RTD category is probably going to be better, more quality, better quality. Of course, we're going to see some acquisitions and some sales, right? That's a given.
I think that's more to come. There's more buyouts coming, more people moving around. All that's going to be happening.
I don't know if 2023 is going to be the year, but I think we're going to start to see more of an understanding of unconventional bourbon, like not Kentucky style bourbon, no diss against Kentucky style bourbon. But I think right now that is the bar that everything's held to. And I think into 2023, 2024, there's going to be a recognition that the flavor profiles that people are tasting, rather than saying like, oh, no, that's not right. They're going to start to realize, oh, that's made this way, or that's made in this state, or that grain bill is different, and it's okay. I think we're going to start to see that become accepted in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
That's
good point, Lenny.
Good point. All right, well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Tracy, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
I am Nola Bourbon on Instagram and Facebook, and NO Bourbon Fest on Instagram and Facebook, and New Orleans Bourbon Festival.com for ticket information and anything you need to know about the upcoming festival.
All right, Ryan.
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey, and our website is 10thwhiskey.com. That's 10th whiskey with an E.
All right, Lenny.
You can find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can order our whiskey shipped directly to your door, and you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Please check it out. Everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows. We got over 3,000 to listen to. We got blogs out there, links to our movies, all kinds of cool stuff. So check us out, abvnetwork.com. And if you want to come by and see us, we are in the St. Louis suburb of Arnold, Missouri. We've got a shop. You can come by and shop our barrel picks. And if nothing else, please go over to abvbarrelshop.com. What the hell? That was my plug.
Sorry, I coughed.
abvbarrelshop.com. Sign up for our email and text distribution. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps see people find the show, which is very important too. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Fridays, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Good night.
See you guys.
Guys.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.